starting the record early. Okay, so last week we worked on Little Crow Dance, and one of the things that we did was we talked about when you have two notes that are the same tone, um, that you can separate those with a soft tongue. And so that's what we have done this week. We worked on Little Crow Dance and we have separated it with a soft tongue. We have also worked on Aspen Leaves. And so as we start out today, I'd like everybody to take their flutes and let's do some connection exercises with our flutes. If you'll just take your flute and hold it here like this, and I want you to set your intention for what we are going to be doing today. What is it that you want out of this session? So just take a moment. Now I'd like you to take your flutes and begin to connect with the holes on your flute. Where are the holes on your flute? And this is especially important if you change flutes, if you have more than one flute and you change, you need to take that opportunity to connect with your flute. Jan Michael Looking Whoop says that there's a triad of synchronicity when you play your flute. I think it's really more than that. But the triad of synchronicity is the fingers. The fingers, the tongue, the tonguing, and the breath. The breath. But I think your head also has to be in the game. So, but there's that triad of synchronicity, and every single embellishment happens because of tonguing, because of breath, and because of fingers. So it's one or the other, a combination of two of them, a combination of three of them. And so we'll be spending a lot of time on that. Now, when I took lessons from Scott didn't really talk about the difference in breath, the difference in breath pressure. One of the things that I did learn, and I don't think Scott physically taught that to me, but it was something that I learned, was that there are certain notes that when you play them, you have to increase your breath pressure or you have to blow more softly. As you get to the bottom of that register, you have to blow more softly. It has to be more gentle. And as you get to the top, there needs to be more support for those tones. So I did learn to do that, but Jan Michael Looking Whoop, uses a lot of variation in the breath in order to pull off some of the many, many intricate little embellishments that he has. So let us go ahead and start with let's start with Little Crow Dance, and then we'll do Aspen Leaves and just spend some time on Aspen Leaves. Would any of you like to volunteer to play Little Aspen Leaves for us? Oh, Deb, you're smiling. Oh, but Ellen, okay, unmute yourself, Ellen. Go ahead.
Okay, I haven't played it for a while, but here we go.
Beautiful, beautiful. You play kind of like I do, Ellen. I just desire to, I think it's from my flute playing, my silver flute playing. I want to play fast. I want to play fast. I want the fingers to move. I want to play fast. I'm going to challenge you. I want you to slow down. I want you to really really slow down because it'll bring something out in your flute playing. It'll bring something new out in your flute playing. It will open a different it and it took me 2 years, almost 2 years playing with Scott August before I could slow down. He would tell me, slow down, slow down, slow down. I didn't want to slow down. I could play them and I could hit those notes and I wanted to play it fast. But I wasn't getting the essence of the Native American flute. I was still playing a silver flute. I was just playing it
Yeah, I'm still playing myself.
vertically as opposed to horizontally. So I would
Well, I
invite
can't
you.
always get all the
I
fingerings
would
that I go.
invite you to think about that, to consider adding that aspect to your flute
Yeah.
playing. Mary, you're unmuted. Would you like to play Aspen Leaves for us?
Okay, I'll try to play it slowly.
Okay.
Music.
Okay,
I
so
wasn't closing my hole.
and I'm not sure that your block is right. Check your block. I want you to check the block on your flute. And that's one thing that I always forget to do is to check my block. But your block can make all the difference in the world, and you want it to be set back. Let's see if I can get a good picture of this. You can just see a sliver of it there. It's a little bit it's probably about
Oh,
the size of a pencil lead, and there's a sliver there of
okay.
so that let me do I don't know whether my view speaker. Okay. So I don't know, can you see this? Am I on clearer? Okay, so
Hmm.
there's just a
And I just moved mine,
little
so
tiny thing there. And then tighten it. Once you've got your block set, tighten it. And we should do that every time we pick up a flute. We should check the block. We should check the
oh
block,
really?
especially if you're going to be playing for other people. And you'll find that
Huh.
uh, what happens when you're playing for other people, that setting your block, looking at your block, feel, and then taking the time to feel your fingers. Generally, Native American flute people talk, they have kind of a patter that they do, before they play, and as they're talking, they're running all these checks on their flute. Okay, so
Thank
Deb,
you.
you want to unmute yourself and play Aspen Leaves for us?
All right, I'll try playing really slow. Sometimes when I play really, really slow, then I run out of breath on these big slurs.
Okay, and be intentional about that. Oh, I
Yeah,
hear
I
your
know.
metronome. I love that.
You hear my metronome?
I
Yeah.
do.
Well,
Lovely. Absolutely lovely.
Okay, what's more?
So a lot of Scott's pieces you can kind of play over. Sometimes you have to leave the ending off, you know, to make it so that you can play it, but you can play them through twice. You can play the second part of them. He always has two different parts to each of his pieces, you know, so he'll start out and he'll play the melody, and then he will either begin to add to that melody. You can see he switched it up. He started out with on the second half, he starts out with the quarter note, with the eighth notes, and then goes to the quarter notes, instead of starting with the quarter and going to the eighth. And he adds more of them. So, and he does this constantly in his pieces, you'll see that. Okay, so now we're going to go to Little Crow Dance with soft tonguing. With soft tonguing. Who would like to play first? Okay, Ellen, go ahead. Unmute yourself. Okay, so these lines are slurred lines, so everything's going to be slurred except for those two contiguous notes. So, starting with measure 9, this third line down. Okay, play that for me, Ellen. Beautiful, beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So that's what we're looking for. We're looking for everything to be linked with the exception of those two notes that are on the same line. You know, unless you can't make it through it and you need to take a breath, then you need to decide, where am I going to take a breath? But you should, I think, be able to make it through that. Who else would like to play Little Crow Dance for us? Deb's gonna unmute, okay?
Okay, excuse me.
I like that. Thank you very much. I like that a lot. Mary, did you want to play it for us? Mary Caldwell, would you like to play it for us?
Okay. I did adjust it, so let's see if it sounds any different.
Okay.
Does it sound any different?
It does. It sounds a little bit better. I can hear a difference, Mary. I can hear a difference. So, Mary, I'm going to play a line and then I want you to play the line back. I want to hear those slurs. I want to hear those slurs. So, I'm going to start, I'm just going to play from the first measure. So, okay, I want you to play that phrase to me and slur those notes except for those two contiguous ones. Okay, so I heard.
Oh, next.
Right? Go ahead. Okay, so what I heard was you did slur that the last two, but you missed the slur between. You missed that slur. Dum da dum da dum. So now try it one more time.
What? Oh, I have my hand in the wrong place.
You're in the wrong place.
It helps if my fingers are where they belong.
It does. It makes a huge difference. It just makes a huge difference. Okay, so that is the little crow dance. So we're gonna go on and try some new things, but I know that last time there were several of you that talked about not having enough breath, and I talked about the fact that I struggle with this too. I do not have enough breath, and you guys can all unmute yourselves if you want. So we're going to do a breathing exercise. We're going to take just a few minutes. This is something that I found that Jan Michael shared with us, which was really interesting. And so we're going to breathe in slowly, slowly, slowly. Make sure you get your lungs completely filled. And then we're going to push it out just like that. So listen carefully to me. And it's all going to come out. Just push it out. So we're going to breathe in really, really slowly, 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 slowly. Expand the lungs and then just get it all out at one time. Here we go. Breathe. Try it again. Okay, now we're going to do just the opposite. We're gonna do a moderate breathe in. It's gonna take us longer than that where we pushed it out took. But we're gonna do a moderate breathe in, and then we're gonna breathe as if we're breathing through our flute. You know, just a nice gentle, and you can make a sound as you breathe. And keep it going as long as you can, but stop before it gets choppy. Don't let it get choppy. When it start, when you feel like you're out of breath, you're done. Okay, just have a nice cut up. So I'll show you, and then you can do it. We'll do it together. So it's breathing in, and then breathing out. Okay. So let's all do that together. Here we go. Breathe in and out. Okay, so those are 2 exercises that you can work on that's really going to help your ability to breathe, you know. And I need it. Believe me, I need it. So this is something I'm going to be practicing on a daily basis, is this breathing technique, so that I can breathe a little bit better. But I think that that's really going to help me. So today we are going to be doing Little Crow Dance again, but we're going to do it with something called taps. So if you would turn to page 105 in your book, we're going to look at taps. So all embellishments happen, they're put on the note. There are 2 notes there and they're put between them, but all embellishments happen before the beat. So like if we have these down at the bottom of the page, we've got these taps, and there are 2 half notes. So it'd be, if you counted it as 1 and 2, it'd be 1 to 2, 1 to 2. It happens just before the beat. All embellishments happen before the beat. The beat comes in. The beat of the following note always comes in right when it should. So it'd be 1 to 2, 1 to 2. So all embellishments happen before the beat. They look like they're put on the note that's following them, but they actually happen before the note is played, and that note is always played on the beat. There's no exceptions to that. It's always played on the beat. So the embellishment we're going to be looking at today is called taps, and taps is a very quick closing of the finger of the note below the note you're playing. So he gives us some examples here. So it's just that one, and you can make it as, the object is to make it as quick as you can. People should not really be able to hear exactly what happened. They just know that something very delightful happened as you played that. And so the quicker you can play that little tap, the better off you're going to be. So you are going to want to practice and try to pick up the speed on those taps. So you're going to practice this this particular exercise on page 104. So does everybody want, we can all just mute ourselves, and does everybody want to try that exercise at the bottom of the page? I'm not going to mute myself, but I won't play so that you won't hear me. You will hear yourself as you play that exercise. Quickly and just before the note. Okay. So now we're going to look at Little Crow Dance, and we're going to look at Little Crow Dance with some taps in them. So the objective is for you to play that exercise, that taps exercise, over and over and over and over and over and over again until you can do these without even thinking. When you can do them without even thinking, then it becomes an embellishment that you can use. If you can't do it without thinking, it's not going to be something that you're going to get put in unless you write it into the music. So now Scott has put together a little crow dance that has taps in it. You'll notice that Scott does not always put the tap in between the two notes that are contiguous. So when he doesn't do that, then you're going to need to do that soft tonguing. Da da. You'll need to do that soft tonguing. So let me see if I can play through this for you. Okay. And I made some serious mistakes in that one. That's something that I'm going to have to work on this week. I obviously, especially, I'm not expecting those taps to be on a note where I'm going to be moving to. So I'm really going to have to work on this piece this week. And I want you to work on this taps exercise, and I want you to work on this taps piece. And I don't think that I'm going to give you any other music for the week. I think this is what I really, really want you to concentrate on, is getting this embellishment down, this tap down. So you're just going to the note below the note you're going to play, is how it is. And so that's called a tap. Are there any questions? Let's see, where am I? I'm trying to, stop share, there we go. There we go. Okay, any questions? Unmute if you've got a question. Comment. Okay, I will be sending you out an email that will have the video on it, and it will also have an attachment with the little crow dance with the taps in it, so that you can work on that this week. I will see you all next week. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you.
You're welcome.